In our last Outlook and presentation, we identified 5 domains of policy priority for Canada: immigration, competition, taxation, a framework for a digital economy, and environmental regulation. All remain relevant, and I'm not again going to comment on each one. There's been some movement on some over the past months. For example, some effort to contain what had become an uncontrolled flow of temporary workers and foreign students that in many cases fill low-paying jobs. Let me just add a few words on taxation. It's a complex domain of policy. Obviously, revenue must be sufficient today and tomorrow to fund the expenditures required to deliver the services that governments are promising. A tax system that supports saving and investment is not necessarily one that minimizes all forms of taxation on capital. It is one, however, that is coherent, consistent, and founded on clear principles. Much has been said about the change in Budget 2024 to the inclusion rate on capital gains. We do not wish to jump into the political arena, but I'll make a few simple points. There's no exact science on the right inclusion rate for capital gains because much depends on what is the overall structure of the tax system and what are the desired impacts of policy. However, it's clear that the measure in the last budget was aimed, at least in part, to earn large revenue this fiscal year to plug a hole, and then over the next years to help fund rising expenditures. There's no indication that it was designed within a policy framework that would give priority to saving, investment, and productivity growth. Now, in parallel, the government is introducing many generous, refundable tax credits to stimulate some forms of investments. Yet, it's also sunsetting provisions introduced in 2018 to compete with U.S. tax reforms for, and I quote from the time, businesses of all sizes across all sectors of the economy that are making capital investments. In short, the measures are disconnected. Many consider that the time has come for a comprehensive overhaul of the tax system. We have sympathy for the point, but given the scope and scale of the task, we think it's more realistic to contemplate year-by-year improvements, including simplification, but on the basis of clear and consistent principles and goals.